Hello everyone, my name is Malcolm. Welcome back to Pitside, where we discuss everything football related. Today we are talking about El Clasico, the state of La Liga, and we're doing a little bit of Champions League predictions. Today I have a very special guest. I'll let him introduce himself. So go ahead and introduce yourself, my man.
Yeah, man. Hi, I'm Hashem. H Reacts, my YouTube channel, from the UK. And yeah, man, I'm excited to get into this podcast, man. It's like El Clasico is a massive game, and hopefully we'll be delivering more of these podcasts more often.
Yeah, 100%. And make sure you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe to both of our channels. It will really help the Pitside community grow and his channel grow, and it will help us put out more content just like this. And we're not going to keep you guys waiting for much longer, so let's just get right into El Clasico. In my opinion, I thought it was a very good game. How about you? Entertainment value-wise, what did you think of the game?
I think, man, I don't know, none of these viewers probably know, but we're both Real Madrid fans, so it was probably it was a very good game, man. It was a very good game.
Yeah, for both of us, 100%.
Bro, 100%. And I think it's probably the biggest game of the season. I think any Madrid fan will probably tell you that so far. I mean, who knew from the way we started this season to where we are now that we put in a performance like that against Barcelona, and now just 1 point off the title. I mean, it was a great game. And I think any Madrid fan would have been happy with that result.
Coming into this game, Barcelona were the favorites. They had more rest over the week. We had a midweek game against Liverpool in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, which was a really intense game. It took a lot of pressing and a lot of energy to beat Liverpool in that game. And then we come into this game with another injury. Lucas Vazquez got injured during the game, and then we also missing Sergio Ramos, Rafa Varane, and
Carvajal.
Doing all of that Carvajal, just getting that win, these two wins is just complete. It was completely unexpected in my opinion. Real Madrid had a better week than I thought it was gonna be. And obviously, you gotta give credit to Zinedine Zidane. He always finds a way. Whenever Real Madrid are dealing with injuries, he always finds a way to bring in players, give them mentality and confidence to just perform in the game, no matter how big the game is. And he always finds a way to come out with victories or good results. So we gotta give credit to Zinedine Zidane.
Bro, I think he's been so undervalued at this club so far. Like, in terms of man management, I think he's up there with the greatest managers in the world. Like, the way he motivates his team for these big games, and we've watched Madrid all season long and throughout the years and stuff, and it's always been, that's why we haven't won La Ligas, because in the important games we play so well, but in the smaller games the mentality's not there to last. That's why we do so well in the Champions League and not as good in La Liga. But I feel like since Zidane has come in, I think that's changed a lot. I think there's a lot more consistency throughout the whole season rather than just in the important games. And that's why La Liga's looking so strong for us. And I think there's, like, if you include all the injuries for us to be where we're at, like, throughout the season, like Hazard is like one of the biggest ones, probably, like, you can say the season is like he's literally been injured more than he's played. What Zidane's been able to do with this squad, like with the little resources he's had, with players that are like 35, 34, people talking about their past it, Kroos, Modric, Benzema, all of them. Yeah. And they're still performing at this level, like dominating a team like Barcelona. It was it's crazy.
Yeah, and I honestly think I was a little bit nervous coming into this game until I saw Barcelona's lineup. I saw that they weren't starting with a traditional center forward or a striker. They ended up going with Messi and Dembele up top, and I thought that Barcelona was going to try to hurt Real Madrid on the flanks with Jordi Alba and Serginho Dest. But Zinedine Zidane did a really good job with his starting lineup by including Valverde and leaving Asensio on the bench, because I think Valverde offered more defensive support, especially on that right side. And every time Messi picked up his head to try to play a pass forward, especially up to the left side, because that's where he loves to play the ball. Jordi Alba was completely covered, and Valverde was there to cover the space, and Jordi Alba was not able to create many chances going forward. And the same thing on the other side, on Mendy's side. I think Vinicius did a really good job tracking back and supporting Mendy, so Serginho Dest couldn't create any other chances for Barcelona. So I think Zidane got his lineup perfectly right. And then whenever Barcelona had the ball or dominating the ball, the Real Madrid press did a really good job making Barcelona players lose the ball, and we hurt Barcelona on the counter attack multiple times.
It's crazy. Yeah. The pace, I think the pace we have is just incredible. Like, and that's, I think, Madrid has never been throughout the history a team that dominates the game, dominates the ball. It's always been, direct counter-attacking play. That's been, the greatest success. And I feel like, especially in the second half, you can really see like the way each manager wanted to play. It was Barcelona dominating the ball, passing it around, but Madrid was so direct. And I think if you really look at the overall game, even though Barcelona definitely had more possession and probably in the attacking half as well, Madrid were definitely the more dangerous team throughout the game. You always felt Madrid were the side that was going to score next. You had the Valverde chance to hit the post. You had the Lucas Vazquez one where the keeper saved it. It could have easily been, I think, like 5-6-1. If Madrid took all their chances, it easily could have been a lot more. And I think there's Barcelona. I think the goal was just a bit of concentration. They lost it in that moment, I think, because the defense. I mean, if you consider it, the makeshift defense of Militao, Nacho, and Lucas Vazquez. I mean, none of them. Imagine you talking like 2 years ago, like discussing these players.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the level they were playing at was like, I was like, what is this? This is crazy. This is like a team. This is like a defense that could win a Champions League. If I'm being honest with you, like seeing the way they were defending, I was like, what is happening? It's like Ramos and Varane were still there. It's crazy.
Yeah, we did a very good job. I honestly didn't feel like Barcelona forced a lot of saves out of Courtois. I honestly believe that chance at the end of the game after the red card was when, like, it was really bad for Real Madrid. It looked like they were about to
nerves,
concede.
man.
Yeah, that's the only time I really felt like Barcelona were starting to put like a lot of pressure on us.
Yeah.
But even for Lucas Vazquez to go down and then Odriozola to come into the game, and we still looked very solid, And I think Real Madrid played to their strengths, and that's the counterattack. Both of the goals came from a counterattack. Vinicius picked up the ball for the second goal and dribbled past. I can't remember what the Barcelona player's name was, but it caused that free kick that Toni Kroos scored. Obviously, it was a little bit of luck with the deflection, but that counterattack is what caused that free kick. Same thing with the first goal. Barcelona lost the ball in midfield, and then Lucas Vazquez was able to eventually, counterattack and then put in a good cross for Benzema. And there was other times, like you were saying, how Madrid always, are always direct. Like that one chance that Vinicius had in the second half on the counterattack where he decided to pass to Benzema instead of taking a shot. Like, there's many chances that I think Real Madrid had that could have put this game away, even in that first half on the counterattack. But it was a very good victory.
Even at the end, the Marcelo one at the end as well.
The Marcelo one.
I thought it was a definite goal.
Yeah,
it was like clean through. I don't know what happened, but easily, like so many chances. And I think the one thing you picked up on as well is Vinicius, man. Like it's this player, the development I think I've seen from him, like throughout his time so far is crazy. Like the way I think that the thing he really liked, I think. Since everyone was talking about it from the start, was his sort of end product, that final pass, that final shot. That's what always let him down, Vinicius. Yes. He was so good on the ball. He's dribbling, he's quick. But it's that little end product that he was lacking. But, we saw it against Liverpool. Like, he was outstanding, like the best player on the pitch by a mile.
Yes.
And the danger he was causing the Barcelona defense, like the ball to Benzema, as you said, like the play to get past the two defenders, then get the foul for Kroos's goal. Like, you're seeing a development of a young player who I think will can really, if he really wants to, and he sticks with the right mentality and he gets the right coaching and he's in the right system of the team, this player, I think, could go really, really far. And I think a lot of people are underestimating how good he can be.
Yeah, I think Vinicius, definitely he has to work on his, end product, but it's getting better. And against Liverpool, I thought it was really mature, for him to take down the ball on his chest and then, slide the ball past, Alisson. That's a really mature finish, And I think Zidane is a right coach for him to, develop his attacking ability, 100%. Another coach that I think would be good for him is maybe, Pep Guardiola or maybe Klopp. But I think Zidane right now in a Madrid system that helps him on the counter-attack is really good for him. And honestly, end product is one of those things that a player can develop over time. It's not something that he's missing that's huge in his game. But end product is something that it can literally come like that, and you just get on this hot streak, and then you develop into a goal scorer or someone who, assists his teammates a lot. So I think Vinicius definitely is holding down that position, especially with Eden Hazard out. He's kind of showing Real Madrid that maybe we don't need Hazard, Maybe we can help Vinicius develop into a better player. Maybe, do something. Because Hazard right now is in his 30s, I believe. I think he's about to be 30. Or he's 30.
Like 29, yeah. I think he is in the 29 range. He's getting old.
And, with all these niggling injuries, they're reoccurring. So I don't know if we can really count on Eden Hazard to be there. But, the only time can tell whether Eden Hazard is going to get over these injuries. But Vinicius has done a good job, holding down the spot in what I believe was Real Madrid's most important week of the season, against Liverpool and Barcelona. So let's see if he can, come into the next game, Liverpool, and perform really well. He has a good chance because, Liverpool, they need goals. So then they're going to leave some space open in the back. So that's a really good chance for Vinicius not only to score, but build his confidence as, La Liga continues down the road, because we're going to need him, especially with Eden Hazard out. We're going to need him.
100%, yeah. No, we are.
Yeah. But I think... Yeah, for El Clasico, let's discuss. Was it a penalty or was it not a penalty? I know we're both Real Madrid fans, so you might be a little bit biased.
We're going to try not be biased. But I think if I'm putting my hand to heart and, being completely honest, like as a non-Madrid fan, I think it's so, like, it's very difficult to give that as a pen. I think... Braithwaite was very slow to get to the ball. I think he should have scored, to be honest with you. I think he was very slow to react, and if he got there quicker, he would have scored that. I think the touch was very, very light, and I think it's not a distinctive enough touch for you to say it's a penalty, and for VAR to say that's a clear and obvious error and go ahead with it. I think it's reaching a bit too much. I think. Like we know this with Madrid, there's always controversy. It's always the refs, and it's always this and that. It's always them getting targeted for it. But I mean, you can't. I don't know how you can give that as a pen. Like the contact is so light, and he's gone down very theatrically. And, I don't know. For me, it's not a pen.
In my opinion, I don't think it was a penalty at all. I thought it was really soft. I thought Barcelona were only asking for the penalty because it was a very frustrating game for them. They didn't create a lot of chances that whole game, or very dangerous chances, I should say. And that penalty, if it was a penalty, they would obviously need that to get back into the game. But for me, it was a very light touch on the arm. I think Braithwaite definitely, tried to sell it, but it just didn't work because it was just too soft, in my opinion. And I think the game is becoming a little bit more, I don't know if you've noticed, but like I feel like referees are allowing a little bit more contact this season, or I don't know. I just feel like there's been a little bit more aggression during football this year, and I just think that's way too soft for you to give that as a penalty, especially as a game this big that can possibly decide the title. That's way too soft of a penalty, in my opinion. And
I think I know you're mentioning that. I think in La Liga I agree with you, but I think if we saw like the other day, I don't know if everyone saw the Manchester United versus Tottenham game, and I think if you saw the foul on Son, the one that got given, I think that everyone was complaining about how that was so light, and like I think it's very inconsistent. I think there's some blatant decisions in football that are happening with VAR and everything these days that that refs are not giving for some reason. I don't understand why when everyone can see it's a foul or everyone can see it's clear.
Yeah.
And then there's light touches like that they give and say, that's a clear and obvious error, and like it's just inconsistency, I think, with football.
Yeah.
And going back to the penalty, I think I wouldn't disagree. I think he was very reckless, and it wasn't reckless, but it was a bit stupid from Mendy to do what he did. It wasn't necessary. Like, he was going away from goal. He didn't really need to pull him or whatever, just or push him or whatever he did. But it was a bit, he left it a bit open for the ref. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's not a pen.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on the Mendy point. Don't give the referee something to think about, 100%. Especially when, Barcelona are trying to get back into this game. Don't give them something to think about. For me, it was probably more of like a tired, I don't know if Mendy thought Braithwaite was going to get to the ball, so I think it was more of like a tired tackle and everything to try to force the ball out and everything. But again, I don't think it was a penalty, but, Barcelona are definitely going to complain about it because they were frustrated. But other than that, I think El Clasico definitely went in Madrid's favor because they deserved to win that game. I don't think any point in that match that I think Barcelona deserved to come out of this with a draw or a victory. No. It was very obvious Real Madrid was the better side over the night. And I think Barcelona lost this game because they were not more brave with their lineup. I think if Griezmann, Dembele, and Messi had started an attack, I think that game would have been a lot more different. But I think Dembele was completely ineffective, and then with him being ineffective and unable to make space for Messi picked up the ball with 2 or 3 players around him at all times.
Every time.
And that was credit to the Real Madrid press. But I always think that Barcelona, it kind of reminded me of Barcelona from the 2013-14 season when they didn't have a natural center forward or striker. And then as soon as Luis Suarez came in the next season, it just created space for Lionel Messi and Neymar, and then they were able to dominate football. I think whenever Messi doesn't have a traditional center forward or a striker close to him creating space, it's going to be very hard for him to create chances because Barcelona go through him a lot to create chances. Him and Luis Suarez had a really good connection. Even though Luis Suarez missed a lot of chances, they had a really good connection in terms of scoring goals. And Luis Suarez, he troubled us during El Clasicos. When he was
countless times.
Yeah, he was one of the greatest strikers I've seen in El Clasico for the time he was at Barcelona. He would always give us trouble, and I think that's where Barcelona are missing that natural center forward or striker. I know they tried Griezmann there. They've tried experimenting with Griezmann, and it hasn't been that successful. But I think that's where they're really lacking. And I know they're trying to get Haaland, but that's where I think Barcelona...
There's a lot of rumours.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rumours. I think the Aguero ones are there as well because obviously, his ties with Messi and in an effort to, get Messi to stay.
Yeah.
It's I don't know about Messi. I don't know whether he's staying or not, but I do think Barcelona definitely the priority. I don't know where the money's going to come from because, they've been screaming they have no money for a while now. But I think the biggest lack they have is in that striker position. I think they haven't obviously since Suarez left and with the money they haven't really been able to pinpoint that player that's going to give them that difference, that number 9 player. But I think there's this transfer market, we're going to see a lot of changes. There's a lot of players that are rumored to be leaving. There's a lot of players that are going to be moving around. So yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. I mean, I hope as a Madrid fan they don't get anyone good, but
yeah.
I mean, I do think this team does need a number 9. I agree with you.
With La Liga this close, who do you think is gonna win the title?
Oh, you know what? My heart will always tell me Madrid, but I think Barcelona. I don't see them. I don't see them involved in this. Madrid have some tough games. They have Sevilla, they have Bilbao, they have Betis.
Yep.
And obviously home and away doesn't matter with no fans. So there's some tough games I think coming up. Hopefully no more injuries, no more major stuff happen. But I think if we avoid major injuries, if we keep this consistent run of form that we're on and the mentality's still there, I see Atletico Madrid slipping up. I don't think Atletico Madrid have that, mentality to keep going always till the end. And, they've got injuries now. They got Joao Felix out, Suarez is out.
Yeah.
They're lacking goals.
Yeah.
Trippier as well now, yeah. So they're lacking that threat going forward. And Atletico don't score goals, they don't score many goals anyway.
Yep.
So I think they are going to slip up in one or two more games. They have to obviously play Barcelona away from home, which will be a very, very important game, I think, for this title race. But yeah, I think Madrid. I honestly think Madrid. What about you?
I want to say Real Madrid because if we avoid any major injuries right now, this squad will only get better. Eden Hazard coming back. Rafael Varane, he wasn't really injured. He just got COVID, so he's going to come back as well.
COVID, yeah.
Carvajal is starting to do a little bit of training. And Sergio Ramos, I'm not sure what his expected return date is. But if we avoid any major injuries, this squad can only get better, except for that right back position, because I heard that Lucas Vazquez... Actually, no, Carvajal is coming back, so yeah, that right back position would actually get better as well.
Well, yeah, and Odriozola, I think, it's not a bad player to fit in there.
Yeah.
But obviously, Carvajal's a whole new level, and hopefully when he's back, we're just going to be more solid than we already are. I mean, I don't think defensively we've had any real problems, to be honest.
Yeah.
Since I think the Ramos contract situation is getting a lot more complicated for him.
Yeah.
With that defense of Nacho and Militao who are doing so well.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, he's gonna have to fight his place back in, and who would have thought we would have been saying this? When Ramos got injured, everyone was screaming, "Oh no, our defensive problems now," and it's gonna be a struggle. But look what the two backup players have done. So,
yeah. I mean, major games too. Major games. We've been missing him in major games.
Of course.
And I also believe the way that Real Madrid can win this title is if Zidane can just get a little bit from his bench. I think Real Madrid are definitely going to go to the semifinals of the Champions League. But with that, I believe that it's going to be more tiredness within the squad because you're playing midweek games combined with La Liga games. So I know that Zidane is going to have to rotate at some point. And if he can just get a little bit out of Isco, I know Isco's not having a great, in the last 2 years, he hasn't been that great. But if he can just get a little bit out of Isco, a little bit out of Rodrigo, a little bit out of Asensio, just some bench players who can just come in and just fill the role, just fill the void or of any injuries that are to come up, or fill the role when we need to rotate the squad as more important games come. But if Zidane can just get a little bit from his bench towards the end of the season, I think Real Madrid can make a really late push to the final in the Champions League. And I think they can end up winning the La Liga title as well. And I agree with you, that game for Atletico to go away from home and beat Barcelona, I just don't see them doing that at all. I actually don't think Simeone has beaten Barcelona away from home in La Liga. I don't know if he has, but...
When they won the title at the Camp Nou, I think, was that a draw or was it? It
was either a 1-1 draw or a 1-0. Can't remember.
I don't remember. I think, but obviously, I think they won the title. I remember them celebrating, but I don't remember if they won that or didn't.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. I mean, Simeone doesn't, in the big games, he doesn't usually turn up. It's
100%.
It's that losing mentality with Atletico Madrid. I think they've always been that small club. They've always been in the shadow of Madrid and Barca. That when it matters, when the big games come along, we've seen it in the Champions League. We've 100%. Seen it in the big games, towards the latter run when they're just running out of steam, they start losing track. Who'd have thought they had 12-point lead?
Exactly.
Only last month or whatever it was. So, it shows you how inconsistent they've been recently.
Yeah, and with Real Madrid and Barcelona declining a little bit within the last couple of years, in 2019, 2020, that wasn't the best Real Madrid or Barcelona side that you've seen over the last decade. And you would think that Atletico Madrid would make a push to win this title, which was what happened this season. But then you can see that they have that losing mentality. They just can't do the job. I actually saw that at one point they had a 14-point lead, and this is going to be the first time in the top 5 leagues that someone surrenders a 14-point lead That just shows you that they don't have the mentality to win La Liga. If you can't beat, Real Madrid and Barcelona when they're not at their best. Real Madrid suffering injuries all season. Barcelona, they haven't been looking good for the last couple of years. Let's be honest. And you find a way to relinquish a 14-point lead. That just shows me that I don't know if you even have the mentality to win La Liga for years to come. Because Real Madrid and Barcelona from now on are going to get better. They're going to go into the transfer market and get better. So this was the year for them to go and win La Liga. We already heard Perez saying that he wants to bring either Mbappe or Haaland this season, which will only make Real Madrid better. And of course, Barcelona are going to go into the transfer market, search for better players. Yeah. Especially, that's what their new president promised, a brighter future for Barcelona. So, Atletico Madrid, I don't see them winning this La Liga title at all, especially after, conceding 14 points. And this was the year for them to win it, and if they can't win it this year, I'm sorry, it's going to be a long time before they can win La Liga again,
Yeah, I think with Atletico, it's not a matter of a lack of quality because I think they're all those players I think will all be internationals. You have a midfield of Koke, Saul, you have Marcos Llorente, obviously he's injured now, but they're all very, very solid players.
Yeah. 100%.
And I think that it's the style of play and the mentality that's letting them down. That defensive style of play, going into every game thinking you're the underdog, when in some cases, if you go for it, you will, you could have a chance of winning, but it's always that mentality that they have. I think I saw Simeone speak about it, a few months ago, I think it was, or I think when it was the Super Cup in January, I think it was, or something. And he always says, he's in that they're in that secondary division, like they're in that, you have Barcelona and Madrid at the top, and then you have Atletico Madrid with your Sevillas and Real Sociedads and them. I think they always have that mentality. And you would think when they won the league back in, I think it was 2012 or 2011, you would have thought that maybe changed. Yeah. But it's the same old with them. It's the same old.
Yeah.
And if this was Barcelona maybe in their position right now, then I would be a bit more maybe skeptical. But with Atletico, I agree with you. I think if you're gonna lose a 14-point lead, then I don't know why you can't lose a 1 point one.
Yeah. But I think this is also an opportunity for Barcelona to capitalize on Real Madrid playing, Champions League football and Atletico Madrid just dropping points, consistently. And they know that they're getting more rest without any midweek games compared to Real Madrid. And they know that Atletico Madrid are feeling the pressure right now. Right now, I think Atletico Madrid are feeling so much pressure to perform that they're just going to continue to stumble over and over again. And they know, I think Barcelona are confident enough to beat Atletico Madrid at home, which is also a title deciding game as well. So I think we can't count out Barcelona at all. I actually think Barcelona will finish above Atletico Madrid, and Atletico Madrid will drop down to third, and maybe even fourth.
Possibility.
Sevilla's coming. Sevilla's coming. But
yeah,
in my opinion, I think Real Madrid are the favorites, and I think Atletico Madrid will actually fall to third, and Barcelona will finish second. That's my opinion.
Let's hope, man. Let's hope.
All right, so there's Champions League coming up. It's midweek. Tomorrow we got, I think, Porto versus Chelsea and Bayern versus PSG. I think the Porto versus Chelsea game is a really easy prediction,
It's over already, I think, yeah.
Yeah. I think Chelsea are not going to relinquish a two-goal lead, and they got two great away goals. So you force Porto to go to Stamford Bridge and get a 3-0 win or get a 2-0 win, and they force it into extra time. So I don't think Chelsea will walk away from this match losing the game, knowing that Porto has to attack them. And maybe this could be the time where Werner could utilize his pace on the counter-attack, knowing that Porto's going to leave.
Big point. Yeah. I think Werner, this is probably his biggest chance, It's not really ticked for him this season, but this is a game where Porto will have to attack, and, there will be space in behind. If he does take his chances, this could be a big game for Timo,
100%. I think this could be, if he ends up scoring in the Champions League, this could give him a lot of confidence to end the season on a high note, because he's feeling that pressure. I don't know if you saw that miss for Germany he had recently. Oh my
Craziness.
God. He's feeling a lot of pressure right now. As a striker, your confidence is everything, if you have low confidence, everything is going to affect you, the way you pass, the way you move on the pitch, and the way that you even try to put the ball in the back of the net. So if he can score in this game in a Champions League quarterfinal to help lead your team into the semifinal, I think that will give Werner a lot of confidence, and I think he has to capitalize on this opportunity, knowing that Porto are going to leave space in behind. So I honestly think Chelsea is going to still end up winning this game, but maybe
I think
Porto
so as well. But I think you can't disregard Porto. You know, like they're the smallest team probably left in the tournament, but you know they've beaten a giant like Juventus, and it's definitely not an easy task to do. So you know, I think I agree with you. I think Chelsea are the favourites, and they should like have loads of space in order to score maybe 3-4 goals in this game. But you know, it's Champions League and Porto is still in it. It's quarterfinals, so you never know. Little chance here and there. If they get a 1-0 lead early on in the game, Chelsea might be a bit, you know, shaky. So we never know. We'll see.
If Porto can get an early goal, that would definitely make Chelsea feel like they have a lot of pressure to perform at that point, you know. So I think Porto, for the only way for Porto to come back into this game is that they have to go into halftime at least winning 1-0. You know, if they can do that, then you know Chelsea gonna feel that pressure. You know, Champions League, there's a lot of pressure to perform. It's not a league game. You know, with Champions League, you have to win, or you know, technically win with the away goals. But it's not like a league game where you can throw some games away and then you can still end up winning the league. Champions League, you gotta win or at least win by away goals.
Of course.
And especially when away goals are involved, you know, everything's up in the air. So for Porto to come back in this match, they definitely have to go into halftime at least winning 1-0. But yeah, maybe we'll see Giroud start in this game because it was kind of a surprise for Giroud to be left out of the previous game.
Yeah.
And a lot of that match, actually, Porto dominated that match, but, you know, Chelsea won maturely. You know, they counterattacked, they sat back, and then ended up getting 2-0 lead, going back into Stamford Bridge. Actually, I don't even think they're going to play at Stamford Bridge because of
I don't know for the COVID, I think, I don't know if they are, but obviously I think home and away doesn't really, you know, with no fans,
with no fans,
you know, it's not really, I think that's obviously significant. But obviously that's what I mean. You know, the away goals that Chelsea got, it was a bit of an unfair advantage on Porto because it wasn't even in their stadium. But yeah, this is what football is nowadays. So you know, it is you know, the fans would be a massive advantage for Chelsea, but you know, with no fans at home, you know, it's not really an advantage. It's an even playing field. So
100%.
So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Let's just get right into Bayern versus PSG. This is the big match because a lot of people still think that Bayern have a chance to come back in this match, and I don't disagree because Bayern, if you watch that first match, they created a lot of chances, and this time, you know, PSG don't have Marquinhos. I think they're gonna have to defend with Danilo and Kimpembe in the back. I don't know if Marco Verratti is gonna be back.
I've heard rumors. I think he's.
Decision.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be fully ready, and obviously in a game like this, big intensity game, you know, you have to have your players fully fit, because he's going to be outrun in midfield. Yeah. You know, Bayern have a very fast flowing pace of football, and you know, I think this game is probably the most indecisive game you can have, and you know, going back to your point about the first leg, how many chances Bayern created. I don't think I've ever seen a game in my life more than that one, where a team has needed their number 9 striker more than I've like ever seen it before. You know, like like the chances, the way they were getting forward, so many opportunities. Where I was just like, if Lewandowski was just in there, like he would have known to move into that area and finish those chances. You know, it could have been a very, very different game. And obviously he's out for the second leg as well, so they're not going to have him there. But it's going to, you know, I think the first leg was one of the best games of the season so far. Like, it was so open, so many chances. And I think Bayern were very unlucky, you know, to not have, you know, got at least the draw out of that game. But should be, you know, another, you know, belter. Should be another very, very good game.
Yeah, I thought Bayern were very unlucky, and Keylor Navas had a really good game. He cemented himself as one of the best. I think he's one of the best performing Champions League goalies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
At Real Madrid, he saved us a lot of times.
He's very clutch.
Sometimes
he's very clutch.
Yeah, very clutch in Champions League, and he's gonna need to have a really big game because Bayern are gonna do the same thing. They're gonna attack, press in midfield, and without Marco Verratti, it forces Neymar to drop a little bit back into midfield and try to hold the ball for PSG because he's their best ball carrier right next to Marco Verratti. But I think PSG are going to approach this game like they did in the previous leg. Probably sit back, absorb all the pressure, and counterattack against Bayern Munich. Because if you saw a lot of that game, they were able to open Bayern Munich up with just 2 or 3 passes.
Very easily. Goal, I think it's the pace. It's the pace they have. It's up top. Like there's no one that can keep up with. Neymar and Mbappe. You saw the first goal. Like the pace they come at you with is crazy. And Bayern don't have obviously you have Alphonso Davies, but obviously he wasn't starting that game. But the pace that Bayern have at the back is not the quickest. Like Sula was getting spun in and out from Mbappe. Like he didn't know where he was half the time. Like it was that he's gone in an instant. Like you didn't even have time to see him. So yeah, it's just they executed their plan perfectly. Pochettino set them up. He knew their strengths. He knew Bayern's weaknesses. He sat back, and obviously, if Bayern took their chances, it would have been a different game. But if you take your chances, PSG basically took all their chances that they had, and they got 3 massive away goals. So the tie's in their favour.
Yeah, so it forces Bayern to win by at least a 2-goal deficit. And do I think they can get a 2-0 scoreline there? I don't believe so, because you cannot shut out Mbappe and Neymar. I don't think, and Di Maria too. He's also dangerous when they're counter-attacking as well. So I don't think they're gonna shut them out. Can they? I don't think they can get a 3-1 either. I just don't know. I just don't see PSG scoring less than 2 goals in this match that's about to come up tomorrow. And I just think, I predicted PSG was going to go through because I thought Bayern have always had a counterattack weakness, in my opinion. Even last year when we saw Lyon versus Bayern Munich, Lyon had some really good chances against Bayern Munich in the Champions League. I think it was either the semifinal or the quarterfinal. And with some better players, they could have really hurt Bayern Munich. And I think the counterattack has always been Bayern's weakness because of that backline, like you said. Davies is the only one who can really keep up with fast players. And I think this match tomorrow is going to be the same way. 2 or 3 passes, Mbappe is just off, Neymar's just off, and I think PSG is going to secure that victory tomorrow and head to the semifinal of the Champions League.
I think this could have easily been the final, if they had been on the either side of the draw. And we saw it from the first leg. We saw why these two are probably the best 2 teams in Europe right now, up there, because you always back either of them to score in every game, and I think I think this game's just going to be just as open as the first one. Hopefully, we'll see loads of goals. I mean, from our side as Madrid fans, I don't know who I want, because both of them are probably just as strong as each other. But I'd probably say, I mean, obviously with Lewandowski back, they're a different team. But in terms of that defense, I think that Bayern defense, you can get at them a bit more. The pace that we would have against them is with Vinicius and Asensio and Rodrigo, whoever plays Valverde, I think there is the opportunity to get at them. So I'm hoping for a Bayern win. But I don't know. It's so unpredictable, this game. But I think I agree with you, and I think PSG will just pull through.
Okay, yeah, I definitely agree. Now let's go to Real Madrid versus Liverpool. I honestly think Real Madrid, with how much experience they have in this competition, there's no way we can bottle this. We're not Barcelona. There's no way we can go to Anfield and bottle this match. Liverpool are not playing well this year. Let's be honest. Their attack is really lackluster. Sadio Mane has been having one of the worst seasons I've seen from a winger who had a really great season, and then his dip in form is it's been incredible. I've never seen someone dip in form so much.
Bad. It's crazy. It's crazy the dip in form he's had, you know. But I think we even saw glimpses of his quality against Madrid. You know, little nutmegs here and there and stuff, and a decent touch on the ball. But this season, you know, I mean, I think the whole Liverpool front three is, you know, Salah's probably been the only one that's, you know, kept to some sort of level, you know, of what we've expected from him over the years. But you know, Firmino and Mane is just they've been dreadful, you know. Like Jota coming back is a big plus for them.
I agree.
In that front three, but you know, like Mane got benched at the weekend, you know, against Aston Villa. You know, Klopp's clearly not happy with the way those attackers are playing, and I don't see it. You know, I don't see why it would change now. You know, the audacity of some people comparing, you know, the Barcelona, the loss of 4-0 to Madrid. It's like, what sort of team do you think? Like, there's a big difference. That team just capitulated like it was nothing, and you know that Liverpool team was very, very strong in those times. You know, but it's a different Liverpool team now, and I think Madrid will score. I definitely think there will be space in behind to score. You know, maybe through Benzema or someone to, you know, a little finish here and there. I think we won't get many chances, but because we will probably be playing on the counter. But I think if we stay solid, if our defenders, you know, stay concentrated throughout the whole game, the same way we were in the first leg, I think we can shut Liverpool out easily with the quality they've shown this season.
Going into this match, if Real Madrid can survive the first 30 minutes, because that first 30 minutes is going to be tough for Real Madrid. They're going to suffer that first 30 minutes. I think Liverpool, knowing that they had to attack and score at least 2 goals against Real Madrid, Real Madrid are going to need to absorb a lot of pressure going into this match. And I think if Real Madrid can survive that first 25-30 minutes of just constant pressure from Liverpool and hit them on the break, then I think Real Madrid will come out in good condition. Like you know, Liverpool's defense has been really bad this season. Their makeshift defense, and even Trent isn't one of the best defenders in the world. So I definitely think this is a good game for Vinicius to again establish his name in world football and get a little bit more confident and maybe score a goal on the counter attack. Now the only question I think is, will Zidane go with a 4-3-3 or will he start Valverde ahead of Asensio? I think you saw. I think I don't know if you saw it, but I think they did say like Valverde was a bit hit or miss before this game, they weren't completely certain if he's gonna get or even get a start, maybe come off the bench or something. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it is if Valverde is fit and he is ready, I think he has to play Valverde. I think the energy there that we need, you know, to play on the counter attack. I think 4-3-3 is a bit too ambitious, maybe a bit, you know, if you want to play on the counter attack. I think he has to sort of sit back a bit with a more 4-4-2 sort of formation. But yeah, I see, I agree with what you're saying. I think it's one of those two that they could possibly go with. I think Valverde would be a better fit for this match, knowing that Liverpool are going to attack us, you know, from start to finish. So I think, you know, getting settled into the game, Valverde will definitely be a better fit, and then bring him off, and then bring on Marco Asensio, and then when the game looks like it's about to die off, you know, maybe get a counterattack goal with Asensio as well, with Vinicius attacking and Benzema attacking alongside. But I definitely agree. Valverde is the better fit for this game, but if he isn't able to step into that starting lineup, then I think we have to try to count on Asensio to do some defensive cover for Odriozola, because this is a big game for Odriozola.
Yeah.
You know? With Vasquez out and Dani Carvajal definitely out as well, this is going to be a huge game for him, and Asensio is going to have to help cover him if Valverde cannot start this game. And then Asensio has good pace. I think he can get in behind Robertson, and I think he can attack that makeshift backline as well. And I think actually Real Madrid will win away from home in this match. I think that Liverpool just have too much stacked against them for them to win this match, and I think Real Madrid are a very mature team. They've been in this position before. It's Zinedine Zidane in the Champions League, And I think Real Madrid are just going to come out with a victory and again show Liverpool why they're the better side in this match. And head into the semifinals where they could potentially face Porto or Chelsea, I think, because I don't think they're doing another draw. I think it's
done.
It's a bracket style now.
It's the brackets.
Yeah.
It's Chelsea and Porto.
Yeah, but Bruja Dortmund versus Man City is very interesting because City struggle away from home, and in the years that have passed, we've seen them go to Monaco with a 5-3 lead, and they bottled that. We see them against Tottenham. When they lost against Tottenham, I think it was 2 years ago in 2019. They had that away game where they lost 1-0, but they ended up doing really well at home. And against Lyon last year, it definitely was a neutral ground, but you wouldn't have thought that Lyon would have beaten City 3-1. So I guess you can never put your full money on Manchester City to go and do the job in the Champions League. And I think if Dortmund can get an early goal, I honestly think they can eliminate Manchester City in this game. But the only thing that lets Dortmund down is their defense. And they were also let down in their first leg due to that really bad call by the referee where they could have scored another goal away from home. When Ederson he dove a little bit when he was kicked. Knowing that they don't have the greatest mentality in the Champions League, I think Borussia Dortmund can do the job. I wouldn't count them out. I would not count them out.
No, I think I agree with you. I think that away goal was massive, and probably the City goal was probably even bigger for them. At the end, the Phil Foden one. I think a big plus for Man City was being able to rest a lot of players at the weekend against Leeds, even though they lost. But they're gonna have a very fresh, Kevin De Bruyne, Riyad Mahrez, Gundogan, Ruben Diaz was on the bench as well. So they're gonna have a lot of fresh, players for that game. At Dortmund, they played their pretty sure full strength at the weekend. Because they're obviously not having the same season Man City are having. Man City are coasting at the top now, and the Premier League's basically there. So I think they can dedicate their full attention now to the Champions League. And I think if Guardiola, this is like the last thing I think left out from his time at City. I think he's done everything now, and he keeps falling with them at the Champions League in that that last hurdle. But I don't know. I have a feeling Man City will pull through. I think Dortmund are very, very dangerous. Obviously, the talent they have and that away goal I think is going to be massive. But City always score, and I think City will get an away goal and cancel that away goal out. It's whether Dortmund can weather maybe that possession and that relentless forward passing that Man City have, and whether they can catch them on the break and with their pace they have up front. But I think it's this one's very hard to call. I think it depends how both teams come into it. I think I would slightly go against what you're saying, because I do feel Man City have the fresher legs. Will come in a bit more determined. Their season's over basically in the Premier League. They've won the league, and they're just going to come with that mentality that this is all they have left now and they have to win it. Yeah,
and I think if any year was better for City to win, it's this year. Through the years they've struggled with defensive, capabilities, how they defend, and they went out in the market and bought some defenders, bought some good center backs, and now they look really defensively solid. So you can't use the defense as an excuse anymore. So I think City, if you guys are going to go win the Champions League, this is your year. You have to do it this year. I think right now in the world, City is probably the best performing side out of all the teams in the world.
100%.
They definitely have the deepest squad as well. So I honestly think Man City, if you're going to win the Champions League, it has to be this year. And if you don't win it this year, teams are only getting stronger. There's some teams out there who are not having great seasons. Some big teams out there who are kind of struggling. And, post-COVID, these teams are only going to come back stronger. So I think City, they can do it. They can definitely do it. But they have to find a way to, have that mentality where they have to be ruthless. I think in the past they haven't been ruthless away from home. And this is going to be a huge test for them. I think in the first leg they dominated Dortmund in midfield. Dortmund really felt the Man City press, and they were able to get a goal, luckily on the counter, on the break, and they almost got another one with Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
But Anderson made a really good save.
Very good save, yeah.
Dortmund is one of those teams who are not afraid to attack, but that leaves their defense open as well. So I'm actually excited for this game. I think entertainment-wise, it's going to be a really good game. I think Dortmund can surprise City, but I wouldn't be surprised if City just walked away with the victory. But I think City are going to have to put in a very mature performance and prove that they can go away from the Etihad and perform. But yeah, if you ask me to put my money, I definitely would put City. But I think I wouldn't count Dortmund out. I wouldn't count Dortmund out this match, especially if they score the first goal. Especially if they score the first goal. But yeah, I think so. We have Chelsea, Real Madrid, PSG, and City going through to the semifinals, which is going to be really good semifinals. But yeah, I guess that was So who do you think will end up winning the whole tournament with those 4 teams going through?
I think it's obviously it's very, very tough to tell. I think a final, anything can happen. In the final, it's a one-off game. It's whoever wants it more, whoever's got maybe that experience that you need in a final. And out of all the teams, I think the most experience is in that Madrid squad.
Yep.
But I don't know if the quality is there to compete with some of those teams that are on that other side of the draw.
Bracket, yeah.
But I think Madrid will get to the final from that side. I think it could be City. I do favour City if they can get past Dortmund. Obviously, I do think City will push past PSG. I think that PSG defense will leak against City, and I think Man City's Real Madrid will be a very, very good final. I think if that is the final, then it could go any way. To be fair. But especially in the final, my heart obviously would want Madrid to win that, but I do feel like Man City will win the Champions League this season. I have that feeling. I don't know why. What about you?
I completely agree with you when it comes to those 4 teams advancing to the semifinals. I think that side of the bracket definitely has stronger teams than Chelsea and Real Madrid. And the pressure is different in the final. It's really hard to predict a final, but I do think City would beat PSG because of their defensive problems, 100%. And I think their midfield is a lot better than PSG's as well. And I don't think City could get beat by PSG on over 2 legs on the counterattack. I think you have to come with something completely different against City, because I definitely know they're going to dominate that whole midfield battle. But I think this might be City's year. If they have the mentality, it might be their year. They've fixed the defensive problems, so it has to be this year for them.
What are we doing, man? It's going to be Madrid. We have to back... What are we doing, man? We have to back our team, man. What are we doing, man? We have to... No. I forget this City bullshit, man. No, it's Madrid. It's Madrid's year. We're getting it, man. We're getting it. Nothing will be sweeter than, for all these people out there that say, no Ronaldo, you have no Champions League, you have none of this. Nothing will be better than winning it with the same group of, veterans, the players that have been there all along, and just to win it would be so sweet. I think if Real Madrid, you go.
If Real Madrid won this, I think Zidane would have to slide into some GOAT conversations for managerial success.
Bro, 100%. It would be like, everyone was saying it was with that team. He won the success that he had was because of that team. If he can win it with this, he's proven his GOAT status in the Champions League.
Yep, and he has experience. Every game to him is a final, so he has the experience. And let's see what happens. But I guess we're both agreeing on the City Real Madrid final.
I think we both back them. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got Real Madrid winning La Liga. We got Atletico Madrid bottling. We have City, PSG, Real Madrid, and Chelsea going into the semifinals, and we're also predicting a City and Real Madrid final. So let's see what happens. Let's definitely see what happens. I think our predictions are spot on, but only time will tell. But anyways, If you guys are new to the content, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
Let us know in the comments.
The details. Yeah, and definitely comment what you guys think about our opinions, and we'll definitely leave everything in the description box in terms of our links, our social media links, and the links to our channels. But if you made it this far, thank you for your time. We're also starting a podcast pretty soon. And until next time, peace.
Peace.